Welcome back to the channel. I've got to show you something. It is a letter from Bernie Sanders that he sent back in the 1970s when he was a member of the Liberty Union running for governor. It is just amazing what it shows about Bernie Sanders back in the 70s and what it shows about his evolution or lack thereof since those 1970s. And I want to thank Zaid Jilani of Alternet for once again publicizing this. It's a letter that occasionally gets sent around. We're going to talk about a couple of excerpts today. He said, "I have demanded a radical revision of the state's regressive tax structure. Let us revise a situation in which the cigarette tax brings in more revenue than the corporate income tax. Let us begin to tax the corporations and the real estate speculators and give working people a break." That is perfectly framed there. Yes, when these sort of regressive taxes, the vice taxes, are bringing in more money than corporate taxes, that's ridiculous. And we see this is not the 1970s anymore. This is 2015, but we see this all the time. I mean, look at California. They can't actually raise their actual taxes. So instead, we have parking tickets and speeding tickets that are insanely expensive. It's the same sort of thing. It may not be cigarettes, but it's putting all of the tax burden on the people at the lowest rung of the economic totem pole. He understood that back in the 1970s, and he still talks the same way now in 2015. He said, "I have spoken out consistently against the barbaric war in Vietnam and against our entire foreign policy of support to military dictatorships throughout the world. Not only is our foreign policy morally bankrupt, but it is bankrupting us financially." And he goes on to show what we could do with that money that we were spending at that time on Vietnam. Now, that combined with what we just talked about the tax structure and the sort of inequality inherent in it, it is the perfect message, not just for the 70s, the perfect message for today. And thankfully, he is still spreading that same message. Probably the most alarming aspect of the Nixon administration has been the gradual erosion of freedoms and the sense of what freedom really means. The Liberty Union believes that there are entirely too many laws that regulate human behavior. Let us abolish all laws which attempt to impose a particular brand of morality or right on people. Let's abolish all laws dealing with abortion, drugs, sexual behavior, adultery, homosexuality. Now, look, we're just a couple of days out from the Supreme Court finally legalizing gay marriage across the country. Bernie Sanders was for taking away all these laws that criminalize homosexuality or stigmatize homosexuality decades before I was born. A long time before I was born, like way before I was born in the 70s. And also, I mean, everything else that he said there, the fact that he was talking about the use of executive power that was eroding civil rights and civil liberties. He was talking about that back then. He's talking about drugs. Now, look, he seems to have changed slightly on drugs. He says that he doesn't at present support legalizing all drugs, but he is still more on that side than many other politicians are willing to be on the national level. Abortion, look, sexual behavior, yes, that is what we need. Look, he understands what taxes, the tax structure that we need as a country. He understands that we spend entirely too much on our military, and we can't have a situation where we are attempting to deal with every one of the world's problems in a military sense by spending hundreds of billions of dollars on bombs and things of that sort. And he believes that we need to protect our civil rights and civil liberties, and he doesn't think that we should be putting Christian morality or any other form of morality on people when it doesn't make sense legally. It's just awesome. It's from the 1970s, but Bernie Sanders, this guy who, look, I still have scars from the last time, like Barack Obama. I was in love in 2004 when I heard his convention speech, and I said, oh my God, this is a guy that we're going to watch, we're going to need to watch. And then we watched him, and then he was running for the presidency, and I remember I was at UT, I was watching it every Super Tuesday. It was an amazing day for me, watching this, his fight against Hillary Clinton. And then, yeah, not so much. Now, look, he's done a great job as president overall. I think we should criticize him on many things. And when I say that he's done a great job, I don't mean that he's done a great job on everything. There are things that he's done a criminal job on. But he has actually accomplished a lot. But Bernie Sanders, like, Hillary Clinton just 9 years ago was against gay marriage vocally. He was making speeches about it. President Obama, he just shifted on gay marriage in the space of the past couple of years. Now, nobody believes he was actually against it 10 or 20 years ago. We think that he was being, a politician. But that's bad enough. We don't want him to just be a politician. We want him to be the liberal, the progressive, the fighter, the champion that we need. That's what we want. And Bernie Sanders is not a guy who 3 years ago evolved in response to polls on an important issue. This is a guy who 45 years ago or something, yeah, I think I got the math right, was already had the right position on so many issues when it comes to the economy, when it comes to foreign policy, when it comes to domestic policy, social issues, fiscal issues. I don't want to get my heart broken again, but goddamn, Bernie Sanders knew what he was doing back in the day, and he still knows what he's doing. That's why he's drawing the crowds that he is right now. That's why he's creeping up at the polls against Hillary Clinton the way that he is. Bernie Sanders is not a joke, okay? The media loves to make fun and talk about, oh, you just want to go on a date with him. You just want to flirt with him. It's a little fling with Bernie Sanders. And then you'll go for Hillary Clinton, who, look, we know she sucks, but you're going to go with her, so stop pretending otherwise. No, this is not pretending, okay? This is serious. It's serious coming from me. It's serious coming from many of you, I'm sure. It's serious what we're hearing from Bernie Sanders today and in the past. You better get serious about Bernie Sanders, mainstream media.